So, we've all played around with AI chatbots, right? But what happens when you need something more? What if you need a dedicated AI agent that can tackle complex, repetitive tasks with absolute precision every single time? Well, today that's exactly what we're going to build. And believe it or not, all it takes is a single file. Just think about this for a second. Let's say you have to validate 1,000 data files, or maybe reformat a bunch of reports every single week. Asking a general-purpose chatbot to do that over and over, it's slow, it's inconsistent. You don't want a conversationalist, you want a specialist, an expert you can summon with just one command. And this slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? On the left, you've got that manual, kind of frustrating back and forth, where you have to re-explain yourself every time. But on the right, that's a precise, automated, and totally reusable agent. This is the jump from just having a chat to actually automating a professional workflow. So how do we actually do this? You know what? It's way simpler than you might think. We really only need two basic tools in our toolkit, and we are going to break them down right now. First up is the command line interface, or CLI for short. Forget all the fancy windows and buttons. The CLI has one superpower, and that's automation. It's built from the ground up to take a list of text commands, what we call a script, and just execute it perfectly. This is going to be the engine that runs our expert agent. What's so cool about this comparison is how clear it is. A GUI, with its icons and mouse clicks, that's fantastic for doing something once. But for the kind of repeatable, high-precision workflows we're talking about, well, the CLI is the undisputed champion. It's just the right tool for this job. Okay, our second tool is JSON. Now, don't let the name scare you. JSON is not a programming language. It's just a really simple, structured way to write down a recipe. And in our case, it's the recipe, the blueprint really, that's going to define every last detail of our AI expert's personality, its job, and its permissions.
And this recipe is surprisingly simple. It really just boils down to three core ideas. You've got objects with the curly braces, which just group related settings together. Then you have arrays with the square brackets, which are just simple lists. And the most important part is precision. The syntax, every comma and quote has to be perfect. Think of it like a legal contract with the computer.
All right, so we have our tools. Now for the fun part. Let's see how these pieces come together to build our agent's DNA. We're about to dive in and dissect the JSON blueprint that brings our custom AI to life.
Now this right here is the absolute core concept. Inside that blueprint file, we're going to write what's called a system prompt. And this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's more like the AI's constitution. It's a foundational set of rules that locks in the AI's behavior and makes sure it stays on task every single time, no exceptions. And would you believe it, this is where it all starts. Our entire powerful AI agent blueprint begins with this simple little structure. That's an array marked by the square brackets, and inside it is a single object marked by the curly braces. Seriously, that's it. All we have to do now is fill in the blanks. And those blanks are filled with these four key fields. First, description. This tells the AI's internal brain when it should wake this specific expert up. Then you've got the prompt. That's the non-negotiable job description we just talked about. Tools is absolutely critical for security. It's basically a whitelist of the only things this agent is allowed to do. And finally, model lets us pick the right AI brain for the job so we can balance things like speed versus raw power. Okay, here it is, the magic moment. We've looked at the tools, we've seen the blueprint. Now, let's put it all together and watch how one simple file and one single command create our expert right on demand. And there it is, a complete, finished blueprint for a data validation expert. The description is crystal clear. The prompt is strict. It even demands a specific output format. And look closely at the tools. We've only given it permission to read files. It can't write, it can't delete, it can only read. This is precise, it's safe, and it's incredibly powerful. And this is the ignition key. This single line of text is the magic wand you wave to activate the expert that you just designed. You type this into your terminal, it takes your question, it loads your custom agent blueprint, and it guarantees that the output will be clean, structured, machine-readable JSON. Let's just quickly break that command down so it makes sense. The -p flag basically tells it, hey, just do this one thing and then you're done. It's perfect for automation. The -agents flag is where you point it to your blueprint file. That little @ symbol is key. And dash output format, well, that's our insurance policy, making sure we always get structured data back.
Okay, so you officially have the power to create and run a custom AI agent. But, with great power comes the need to talk about safety. And I've got a few pro tips to make sure everything always goes smoothly.
So the first thing you have to understand is that these configurations don't just exist in a bubble. There's actually a hierarchy, a pecking order, if you will, of 5 different levels of settings, from really broad company-wide rules all the way down to the single command that you just ran. Now, here's why this matters. Look all the way at the bottom of the list. That's us. Our command, the runtime level, has the highest specificity. What that means is, for this one specific task, our agent's rules temporarily override most of the other settings. It ensures our agent behaves exactly like we told it to. But, and this is probably the most important safety rule of all, there is one major exception. If a higher-level setting, say something from your company's IT department, explicitly denies a tool or a permission, your agent file cannot override it. A deny always wins. It's a fundamental security barrier that keeps your system safe. All right, pro tip time. Sooner or later, your agent is going to do something you don't expect. So what do you do when things go wrong? Well, there's an amazing trick for debugging. You can actually get a peek inside the AI's brain and see its step-by-step thought process. It's this simple. You just add the -verbose flag to your command. That's it. This tells the system to print out everything it's thinking, the logic it's using, the tools it decided to pick, and the results it got back. It's like popping the hood of your car to see exactly what the engine is doing. And that log immediately helps you solve the 3 most common mysteries. You can see if a tool is just set up wrong, if the AI's logic is off, which usually means you need to tweak your prompt, or you can see if you're being blocked by one of those higher-level security denials we just talked about. The best part about all of this is that it's not just some neat little command line trick. The blueprint you just learned how to build, with the system prompts, the tools, the whole structure, is almost identical to how you build real production-level applications with the official API. This is a direct stepping stone to some really advanced development. So there you have it. You now have the blueprint for creating precise, reusable, specialized AI agents for pretty much any task you can think of. The only real question left is, what expert are you going to build first? A code reviewer, a financial analyst, maybe a creative writing partner? The possibilities are now completely up to you.